Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Sam Bardas on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Let's talk all things Nvidia with our next guest, Shai Balor, who's the Chief Market Strategist over at Futurum. Shai, always nice to see you. Thanks so much for joining the program today. I want to talk about visibility because throughout the course of this earnings season, you heard from Broadcom, which was locking in memory to 2027. You heard from Marvell, which managed to show that it's going to see revenue growth of 30% in fiscal 2027. $1 trillion. Why is there so much hesitation with this name?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's tricky because Nvidia right now is clearly telling you that they're not selling a chip anymore. They are planning on owning the entire AI factory from training to inference and networking to robotics. And Vera Rubin's the clearest proof of how the new architecture is going to look like, where every dollar and every watt a customer spends produces meaningful intelligence. And that's essentially the new currency of the new AI build-outs. But trading at around 22 times earnings and the revelation of what Grok revealed to the audience yesterday, I think it was also NVIDIA admitting that being a GPU alone won't be enough, that there kind of has to be a more full answer in the new era of inference. And that's essentially market hearing both the sides of the pros and cons, because the pro was for NVIDIA's bull case the past couple of years.
I want to pick on part A, and my question to that is, have we, or the market, rewarded these stocks way more than the benefit that we are seeing in our everyday life so far? And then would it be a reset that we're seeing right now?
I think it's less of a reset, but more of a digestion. I think that right now we clearly are building up these data centers at a rapid pace. We want to see that maintaining, as well as what the actual return on the investments will be for those data centers. And we won't know that until time gives us that solution. And I think right now, the rapid pace of innovation on AI the last 2 years, we're in that awkward middle part of the S curve where we just are in a wait and see approach. And that's why when you have the anchor of the whole AI ecosystem, aka NVIDIA, just not moving for 6 months, people view that as a negative thing, but maybe it's just more of a digestion before the next leg. And that next leg could be, honestly, physical AI. A lot of the commentary of this year has been physical AI. You heard it yesterday. You heard it at CES. So maybe this is just NVIDIA hibernating before that next explosive leg. And I do believe that before the end of this AI cycle, NVIDIA will hit that $10 trillion mark as the first company to ever hit that mark. But it's going to take some periods of digestion, and we're just in that right now.
Okay, and just on that macro feedback loop, I think that's really interesting as to, how maybe AI is extremely bullish, but not so much an economy that wants to fund the compute right now. Just talk us through that. Unpack that thought for us a little bit more, because this is an economy and a market where we are also very much seeing a huge amount of opportunity in some of the picks and shovels as well to support all of this.
Yeah, it's a tricky paradox that Jensen's maneuvering in right now, because clearly the demand is there for compute, but the labor cost savings, if they don't get reinvested into that growth for that compute and the real economy underneath the build out starts to weaken, like we are seeing a weakening sign in the labor market this year alone, the willingness to sustain this level of CapEx intensity eventually gets tested. So you don't know when that faucet gets turned off by the hyperscalers, and then what happens to a name like these AI hardware names where they are the picks and shovels winners. Nobody really knows the durability of this AI cycle. We believe it's substantial and it's going to be years and years and years, but it's still too soon to tell. We've never been experiencing this much of a revolution before, like we are in the fourth industrial revolution. So I think the market right now is not really fighting the greatness of this company. It's just fighting the uncertainty of the system around it. And again, time is a solution for that. So that's the frustrating part of this paradox.
Yeah, the paradox. I love that characterization. It's like the chicken or the egg, because that $700 billion in CapEx is expected to be extremely stimulative. But then, you've obviously sort of given the counter argument to all of that as well. Shai, really appreciate the chat. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Shai Balor there from Futurum.